here. How are you doing? This is my first Let's Play I've done for a while, and this is the demo of Tales of Berseria, the Tales game that's going to come out in about 2 weeks from now. Now, for the sake of the demo, I'm going to play this in Japanese because that's how I usually play my Tales games. This is the first Tales game that I have not imported because there's no point at this point because this isn't like the Dark Ages where we had to worry about not getting a Tales game. Now, because the game's coming out not too long, I don't want any part of the story spoiled, so we're not going to see anything in the scenario mode. If you want to see anything regarding the scenario mode, when you download the demo yourself, you can do that. We're just going to do the battle mode because no spoilers, and you can see if this game in the series is worth playing. I will say this, if you did not like the last game in the series, I can guarantee you this is much better than that one. I've already played through this already, so I'll already be familiar with the controls. Now, you're not going to be able to see that because I don't want to risk this ending during the broadcast, but this game's at 60 frames per second, which you won't be able to see in the video. One thing I think is a huge improvement over the previous game in the series is the menu setup. The menu setup in the last game was awful. It really was awful. I like it that they went back to basics. Now, if you're familiar with how Graces plays, it plays similar to that. And to me, this feels like a true successor to Graces. Now, unlike Graces, every one of the buttons, circle, triangle, X, and square, can be used to do an art. Now, to some, this may be confusing at first, if you've played every Tales game prior to this point. But I welcome that change. Yeah, Symphonia is a good game. My first Tales game. Now, do I recommend this for those who were let down by Berseria? Of course I would. I think this is much better than that game. Actually, this is the first Tales game in a while that I have not imported. Doing Mystic Arc is actually easier than it ever has been. Now, the demo is already available on American PSN, or I don't know about Europe. Well, of course, it's available on Steam as well, for those Steam users. Yeah, go fuck yourself too, Andre. Don't worry, the person above, ignore him. Yes. I'm totally not used to this. For those who are watching this when it's not live, ignore that idiot. I'm considering doing a Let's Play of this game myself, actually. I've never done a Tales game before. I think I'll main with her, considering she's the character I usually use.
何の問題もありませんね。
Yeah. Maybe I should set up my art setup so it's more comfortable. Yep, that's definitely will do. Jeez, I'm used to Berseria art setup. You know, in my opinion, I think all games should have demos. Considering how expensive games I've gotten. For my rude viewer, I hate to break this to you, but I'm actually playing this on my PS4. Not PS3. Sorry. Being uninformed must be very difficult. Sorry guys, ignore him. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really rusty. Yeah, he is. But for the sake of this broadcast, I'm not going to get in my thing with him. You know, in some ways, there's some benefit to not being famous. You know, redoing this entire game when it comes out, it is tempting, though. I don't know if Namco Bandai will flag me because I plan to do a playthrough with the Japanese voices. The reason I do Japanese voices first is that's simply what I prefer. I can't comment if the dub is bad or not. I may actually do an English dub playthrough one of these days. Because I like to get that anime feel, and I don't really get that if I'm actually listening to it in English. Actually no. This series has been around long before Dynasty Warriors. It's been around since 1995. I'm sorry, viewers. We have a misinformed individual here who likes trolling. so don't acknowledge him. Of course, someone who may recognize this playstyle. Has anyone heard of the Star Ocean series? Well, if the gameplay is similar to that series, that's because the same person that helped create the Tales franchise actually was involved in Star Ocean. So unlike the Tales series, it doesn't have, 16 installments. It only has 4. My fellow viewer, I'm not worried about that guy. He's an idiot. Says I don't even think my viewers even care anyway. I am tempted to look up some of these combo videos. They're bound to beat some up by now, but I don't want the Mystic Art spoiled. Yeah, it's really sad. He's even going in my Let's Play videos, unfortunately. Oh well. I think it's only fair that I branch out. The battle scenario isn't very long, for those of you who are curious to know. You can complete this in like literally 10 minutes, if not less, if you know what you're doing. Oh, another thing, that unlike Gracis and Citeria, free run actually has a use. Oh yeah, I didn't realize sidestepping was here. I almost forgot about it. Well, that's good, it's there. Man, I've never been excited for a Tales game in a while, I will say this. I mean, I think the last Tales game I was excited for was Xillia 1. Of course, some people pronounce it Xillia, which is actually Xillia. That's how I pronounce it anyway. Many of the Tales games that came out since 2012 in the West, I've actually played them when they came out in Japan. Yeah, playing through Tales games in Japanese is kind of a bitch. Well, not the past few installment, excluding Citeria, which, oh my god, that's a fucking nightmare to navigate even in English. Oh, Jesus. But Tales games, the kind of games they are, they're not really that hard to play if you don't know the language. I just wouldn't recommend playing anything like Tales of Fantasia in Japanese unless you're familiar with the language on a basic level. Of course, the Vesperia fans will recognize this theme. Though, of course, this theme is actually a remix version, which was in the game before this one, Citeria, which came out last year. Wait, not last, was it last year? Oh god, it's been so long, I don't even remember. No, actually, no, it came out in 2015. Good for you. Actually, good for you. Wow, it's just some people, I guess, just want to ruin other people's fun. Not that it's working. Shame there's no skits in here. You know, what stinks about this demo is there is no higher difficulty. These enemies die way too fast for my taste. But then again, geez, what was it saying? Yeah. Then again, this is not meant to actually showcase everything the game has to offer. It's just a taste. You know, I don't understand why Namco Bandai didn't do this to the past few Tales games. I don't know, it's just me. Yeah. I will say this much. Unlike some people in the Xbox One community, at least I'm playing my games. Wow, that person, unfortunately, is unhappy with me. It just doesn't know when to quit. Sorry, my fellow viewers. That guy's an idiot. If you see his at any point, I would suggest you block him. Especially if you do Let's Plays like I do. Well, I don't really do them that often. I mean, the PS4's thing is kind of really shitty and very limited to what you can do despite all the updates. I don't even know if I will be able to do a full Let's Play. Again, my fellow viewer, I'm not worried about that guy. He's nothing but a troll that no one's gonna remember years down the road. I've dealt with worse. There's one advantage about actually playing this demo again. It gives me a chance to get more of a grasp of the game, how it plays. Oh, I'm gonna play it on higher difficulty when I actually start it up. I've been looking forward to this game forever. Wow, this demo is a lot shorter than I remember it. Actually, it would be curious. Actually, maybe I'll show you guys how the art setup works. I'm not sure if it's for the final product. Actually, for those who played the Japanese version, you would know more than I would. But anyway, if you're familiar with Graces, this is how it's set up. Unlike Graces and Soteria, where it had A arts and B arts, this game doesn't. Essentially, you could customize the order the way the arts go, which, that's a huge improvement, actually. Which is a valid criticism towards Graces and Soteria, because you cannot actually customize the arts the way you want them to go. So, this way, it's far more flexible. If you're a mage and you want offensive spells, you could have them be up here, and etc. You have far more customization. In my opinion, I feel like this is the true successor to Graces, unlike the last game where it was just a freaking clunky mess. Now, I can't comment on it fully because I haven't played the full game yet. Those who play the Japanese version would know more than I. Of course, if you're watching this video, I've yet to actually play a Tales game. Where the hell have you been? Seriously. Tales games have been coming out in the West since Tales of Destiny. Though, if you have yet to play that game, because I don't think anyone really has, it's almost impossible to find, then at least Tales of Symphonia, which isn't really that hard to find. You can find it on the GameCube, the PS3, on Steam. So, if you have yet to play Symphonia, I don't think there really is an excuse, especially if you're a Tales fan. Of course, I own every version of that game, actually. Except the Steam version, of course. Because that version's a piece of shit. Of course, Graces is actually easy to find, especially if you have a PS3. Between the European versions, the Japanese versions, the deals they have on PSN right now, with a bundle of Xillia 1. This is a good time to be a Tales fan, it really is. Unlike 5 years ago. Where in order to play any of the games, really, you had to either play them on ROMs, if you had a powerful enough PC to play them, or to import the games, which I've imported pretty much most of the games in the series, except Fantasia, because have any of you actually played an RPG in Japanese on the Super Nintendo? It's a fucking nightmare. Sure, the remake on the PSP and PS1 of Fantasia is better, but my god, these design choices have not aged that well at all. I don't know if you can hear the music. Actually, the music's pretty good, I will say this much. But then again, Tales have always been good music-wise, for the most part. Then again, I don't know that many JRPGs I've played where music wasn't good. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard to talk and actually play the game at the same time. It's not something everyone can do, but hey, I'm willing to try something new and different. My uninformed viewer actually doesn't know anything about the Japanese, you know, what the Super NES is called in Japan. It's called the Super Famicom. But yeah, I would never play the Super Famicom version of Tales of Berseria in Japanese unless you know Japanese, actually. And for my other fellow viewer, ignore that guy. He's just a troll. Anyway, as for Tales of Destiny, I wouldn't recommend that game at all unless you're a completionist. I recommend the far superior remake on the PS2. Yeah, it may be kind of expensive, and there really isn't an English translation for it, but in my opinion, I think it's one of the best Tales games ever made. It's probably my favorite one. My second favorite being Tales of Rebirth, which unfortunately never came to the West either. Yeah, it sucks. Two of the best games in the franchise never came in America. Berseria is not that expensive, actually. You can get it for $20. At least physical, I don't know about digital. If you have, to be honest with you, it's not really worth it. I'm sorry, my fellow viewer, but this is actually on the PS4. You can't emulate a game like this on the PC. Unless you want it to run at 10 frames per second, if even that. Yeah, I'm curious what the Brotherhood of Gaming's thoughts will be on this game when they actually review it. I didn't agree with their Berseria review because I think that game's pretty bad by Tales standards, in my opinion. I mean, the story is garbage and the battle system is just I could go on an hour tirade on how much that game sucks. I mean, seriously, how is Legendia the best freaking... Anyway, how could it be worse than Legendia? I mean, Legendia may not be the greatest Tales game. I mean, it is pretty bad because it's, you know, a huge step down from Tales Symphonia was at the time it was released in Tales of Rebirth. The battle system was, you know, more basic than even Tales of Berseria. To answer your question, Terrence, it's a 1080p TV. It's this video quality you're seeing is kind of shit, honestly. But the PS4 doesn't go anything past 720p. And you're not seeing this at 60 frames per second. So yeah, I would not recommend actually doing a full Let's Play of video games on the PS4. I can't say the same about the shitbox one, honestly. I don't have a 4K TV. To be honest, I don't see any reason to own one at the moment. To me, it's just an expensive gimmick that I have no need for right now. Which I can get my thoughts in 4K another day. It looks great. My roommate, you know, that I'm living with, he has a 4K TV that's amazing. But to me, I'm content with the TV that I'm using now. I mean, I never saw what was the big deal about 4K anyway. It looks better, yes, but it's expensive as fuck. And games aren't going to really utilize 4K anytime soon. I mean, does anyone have any idea how expensive games are to make these days? Game developers could barely run games at 1080p, 60 frames per second. That hasn't even been met at all. I mean, AAA titles at 4K. If you can't even do something like 1080p with no issues, then I don't see how developers are going to be able to do 4K. I really don't. I just don't see it. I mean, sure, if you're one of those people who have a lot of money to spend, more than you I think you should, then yeah, I think getting a 4K TV is something you should do, but for me, it isn't for me. I'll wait till it's cheap enough so I don't have to spend, you know, an arm and a leg just to get one. At most, I'm willing to pay $400 for one. I don't need the top-of-the-line 4K TV. I'm not trying to impress anyone. Wow, looks like this is almost over. No matter, I can't prolong this anymore, honestly. Hey, this demo just isn't long enough, so we're about to end this by fighting the second Gano monster in the demo. It's a lot easier than I remember. I see. Well, to be honest with you, I'm a cheap bastard. But that is a good deal, I will say that much. Let's see, hold on. Which one is the... He command... How do you command... I don't even remember how to command these Mystic guys. I don't have to even bother. What's his weakness? Ground. Alright. This is the ass woman this boss will soon not forget. Well, this demo's over. I must say, I'm still impressed, even by my second run through it. I might do one more playthrough through the demo, but not on this stream. Well, this is it, guys. I may do more playthroughs demos in the future, whenever I feel like it. Anyway, have a nice day, and if you would like, I may actually do a Let's Play of this game. Actually, fuck it, I may actually do it. Hopefully, fucking YouTube doesn't freaking be an asshole and remove the video. And no, I already am pre-ordering the game, Sony, so go fuck yourself. So yes, if you're interested in trying this game out yourself without spending $60 on Steam and PSN, you can try out the game by downloading the demo. Anyway, this is Dark Zenovia over and out. May the Force be with you. May we live long and prosper. Have a nice day, everyone. Thank you.